So let's try one more. This is another solve and check for extraneous. Now I'm calling this one hard, but it's really the same as all the other ones. So it's the square root of 7x minus 3, all of it under the square root, minus 2x equals 0. So this is just kind of a mix of the first two. We've got to get the radical by itself. So I've got the square root of 7x minus 3. In order to get the radical by itself, I'm going to add a 2x to both sides. So I've got the square root of 7x minus 3 equals 2x. Now, in order to get rid of this guy, we are going to square both sides. Now, I want this side in parentheses. I think the parentheses are going to come in important. Squares and square roots kill each other off. So 7x minus 3 equals, now 2x squared, that means 2x times 2x. Or in other words, this little squared term is going to go to each of the pieces. So this is 4x squared, right? 2 squared x squared. Now, again, you should be getting chills down your spine. I've got an x squared and a regular x. We've got to jump ship. We've got to go to the side where the x squared is. So let's minus 7x from both sides. Let's add 3 to both sides. Again, I'm just doing it on the same line to save some room. Nothing is like terms. So I get 0 equals 4x squared minus 7x plus 3. And again, we are going to factor this. Don't forget your pitchfork. So you are looking for pairs of numbers that multiply to 12, or that multiply to 4 times 3, but add to negative 7. Again, I trust your guys' judgment on this. The numbers would be negative 3 and negative 4. So let me go ahead and give you the factored version. We get 4x plus 3, x minus 1. Now again, we're solving. We are finding zeros of this equation. So if you set each of these independently equal to 0, you get x equals negative 3/4. Forgot my negative sign. Or if you got negative 0.075, or I'm sorry, 0.75, those are both equivalent answers. And you should also get x equals 1. Now don't forget, you have to check if they're extraneous. It's not good enough to just pick one and figure it out. So let's do the simple one first. Let's try x equals 1. Remember, you're plugging it into this original equation. So the square root of 7x minus 3 minus 2x, and you're seeing if it equals 0. So the square root of 7 times 1 minus 3. We'll try them both. It doesn't make any difference which one you do first. 2 times 1 equals 0. So 7 times 1 minus 3. So this is the square root of 4 minus 2 times 1 is 2 equal to 0. Well, the square root of 4 is 2. And it is indeed the case that 2 minus 2 is 0. This is a happy face solution. This guy works. So let's take a different color now. Let's plug it into the same equation. And I'll do the decimal version because I have a feeling that most of us are going to use decimals. It makes no difference. So the square root of 7 times negative 0.75 minus 3 minus 2 times negative 0.75 equals 0. Now this is a little bit of fancy calculator work. Right. Not much, but a little bit. So I just plugged this into a calculator. I got the square root of negative 8.25 plus 1.5 equals 0. Now already there's kind of a problem, and the problem shows up here. Remember, we can't take the square root of negative numbers without getting imaginaries. So this kind of automatically stops right here. If you plug this whole expression into your calculator, you would have gotten error. So this is a sad face or an extraneous solution. Therefore, it does not count. So the only solution we have here is x equals 1.